Yes guys, I thought I'd make this quick video to show you exactly how you can secure your first client as an agency owner that is just starting out. Now, if you've already secured a client, that's okay. There are some principles that you can implement into your business today that's going to help you scale further. So we're going to start, and I'm going to assume that most of you guys have already got a service and got a niche. However, for those of you that don't, I am going to list some services and niches that you can pick. So let's look at the different services we can offer as agency owners. Now there are multiple services, but I'm going to identify the main four that you can use. So for example, the first one is Facebook ads as a lead generation service. Now this is a lower barrier to entry, which means that you can pick up the skills of fulfillment very quickly. Then Google Ads. With Google Ads, slightly higher barrier to entry, is harder to learn. However, Google used to have a free course that they hosted themselves teaching you exactly how to implement Google Ads, and I think now it's about 40 quid. So it is still very cheap. Don't quote me on that, but just go and check it out if that's what you want to be able to do as a service. You've then got SEO. Now, SEO stands for search engine optimization. It's slightly harder to learn and longer results for clients. However, it's not as saturated. So if that is something that you're studying at the moment and you want to be able to dip your feet into that, I would suggest SEO as a good option for your agency. And then finally, we've got email marketing. Now, email marketing, we can split this up into two. So we have B2B and B2C. Now, when it comes to B2B, this is approaching businesses and then running cold email campaigns to other businesses to generate them revenue. When it comes to B2C, this is more on the consumer side. So for example, if it was an e-commerce store, you would be running their email sequences to generate them additional revenue. Now, just as a shout out to Avon, who is inside the Client Capital, he's been running his email marketing B2C agency, and actually for the last 4 months, he's managed to scale up to 8,000 USD a month, which is crazy. So these are all very good options. Now, when it comes to these services, they've all got one thing in common. They are revenue generating services. We are in an economic downturn, meaning that businesses are in a recession. When you're targeting businesses as a business owner, you need to be able to have a hook. Now, the best hook that you can ever offer someone is to make them more money. So make sure that you understand that when using these as your services. So when it comes to niches, we have two different targets, local and corporate. Now, apologies if I spell corporate wrong, I am actually quite dyslexic. So with local businesses, we are looking at local service offering based businesses. So for example, like auto detailing or landscaping or solar, right? So there's loads of different niches you can pick. Now, a lot of people always say to me when they first start out, I don't know what niche to pick. The best thing that you can do, pick any random niche and just start niche testing it. The best way to niche test is to actually go to market, pick up the phone and start speaking to prospects. You will get the best data by actually going on as many sales calls as possible and running your offer to see how well received it is. So then we've got corporate businesses. Now when it comes to corporate businesses, we've got tech businesses. So this could be like SaaS or AI, or we could even have like finance. So this could be like Web3, crypto, DeFi, whatever, right? Now corporate niches, let's just say, are so much harder to get into, mainly because you're targeting bigger businesses that have more people in the business in their organization, and they're likely to have a board, which means they've got key decision makers in the business that are going to slow the sales process down. So if you are just starting out, I recommend going for local businesses. Now pick any niche, it doesn't matter, and pick Facebook ads, okay? Unless you've got a skill set with Google Ads, SEO, or email marketing. So you've picked your service, you've picked your niche. Here's where most agency owners go wrong. They don't understand their ideal customer profile properly. Now, what we need to do is actually build out target avatars. So, for example, let's look at a local business. We need to understand that if we're targeting a local business that is only doing 10K a month and we're trying to charge 2K a month, that's 20% of their revenue, which means that even if you're the best closer in the world, you are going to struggle to get that business to pay you 2K a month. So what do we need to do? We need to build out a target avatar to understand their revenue. We need to understand their company size. We need to make sure that they actually have a need, not a want, okay, a need. Hence why we make such an emphasis on revenue generation. Do they have scaling plans? Okay, and other elements where we're looking at buyer behavior. Now, one of the things that we can do from understanding our target avatar is making sure that we are pitching to the right decision maker in the business. Now, I will say this, if it is a local business, it will always be the founder, okay? Unless they are over 20 employees. And even then, in some cases, it's likely to be the founder. If it's corporate businesses, you're going to have to start targeting the board of directors, right? So for example, the CMO, which stands for the Chief Marketing Officer. So like I said, if you're just starting out and you're watching this video because you want to start getting clients, please go for this. Now, the best way to start implementing this, create a Notion document today, do some research into your target avatar because this is going to be dependent on your niche, okay? Now, once we've understood our target avatar, we need to be able to do data generation. Now, for those of you guys that are already in Client Capital, we do have a lot of content in regards to data generation and segmenting that specific data. But if not, make sure that you use some online scrapers for Google Maps to get leads, okay? So Google Maps scraper. And one of the things that you want to be able to do is get as many leads as possible. Now, leads are just contacts, okay? They are business names, they are phone numbers, they are email address. The real thing that we need the most is phone numbers, okay? Because one of the best methods of outreach that we're going to talk about shortly is cold calling. If you are targeting local businesses, cold calling is going to be the main method for you. So now, if you're still watching this video, you have a niche, you have a service, you built out a target avatar, and you've scraped some data. You are now at a point where you have all of the information you need to be able to do a multi-channel outreach system. So your first thing that you should be doing is cold calling. Now, with cold calling, I will be doing more videos on how you can master cold calling. However, you need to understand that the most important aspect of outreach is being able to handle objections. Do not just call these businesses and be scared of handling objections because you will never get anyone over the line. But we're going to talk about that in a little bit more detail on the next video. So we've got cold calling, we have LinkedIn. LinkedIn is the biggest professional B2B networking place there is in the world. If you're not utilizing LinkedIn, then you are seriously missing out, even if you're targeting local businesses, because the local businesses that have got 10 employees plus are on LinkedIn, and they're the businesses you want to be targeting because they've got the revenue to pay for your service. So LinkedIn, then email marketing. You want to be able to set up email marketing to be able to target 5,000 people per month, personalized and automated. This is essentially going to be running in the background. So let's break this down in a little bit more detail. Cold calling, we should be doing 150 dials a day. 150 dials a day is going to get you a comfortable amount of discovery calls. Now, I'm going to talk about the sales process shortly, but make sure that you're hitting that as a minimum. Then LinkedIn prospecting. We should be connecting with at least 50 new connections every single week, and we should be prospecting to those LinkedIn connections every single day. So let's just put 10 here. However, obviously, the more the better. Then email marketing. You're going to be targeting 5,000 people every single month, and it's going to be running in the background. All you need to do is manage the campaign responses effectively. Now, what you can also do is Facebook, X, Instagram. However, this is my rule on DM setting on Facebook, X, and Instagram. Please do not put too much time into this in what we call core hours, because your revenue is controlled by your activity. So if you're spending so much time putting all of this effort into just DMs where we copy and paste, we're not actively pushing our business forward. If you are in a position where you want to scale your agency, this should be the last thing that you focus on. However, when you are sat there on a Saturday or a Sunday and you want to be able to do more outreach, get it done. So we'll just put 50 here every single day, okay? Now, if you're doing this, we are doing multiple different touch points with different prospects at different times. This is going to allow you to start implementing a really basic version of the multi-channel sequence. And that is going to get you so many more discovery calls. So I'm going to move on to the sales process. Now, where a lot of agency owners go wrong is they have a one-step sales process. But the problem with that is you're not going to be able to identify pain points, which is the most important thing that you need from a business, so you can provide a viable solution. And the way that we identify pain points is through a discovery call. Now, when we do a discovery call, we're going to be looking at a few factors. First of all, we are going to want to build as much rapport as possible. And by building rapport, we can have some small talk, we can do some questioning about their business, and we can really understand the value as to working with the organization. Then we look at asking questions around their vision, their strategy, and their goals, okay? This is going to get them to buy in to you, because it shows that you are actually interested in the direction of their business. Then we want to move on to the most important thing, which is pain points. So we want to be asking as many questions about pain points as possible. Then what we're going to do is we're going to wrap it up with a clear call to action. And the clear call to action is going to get them onto the demo call. Okay, so this is the discovery. We're then going to go all the way over here and we're going to go to a demo call. Okay, now in the demo call, this is where you're able to present the viable solution. Your viable solution in your demo should match the exact pain points that you have identified in the discovery call. So it's really important to know that business is actually not as hard as what everyone makes it out to be. Now, obviously, you're going to face challenges as you're running a business. However, most successful businesses really do just address pain points and provide a viable solution. It becomes a matching process instead of a closing process. So that is going to allow you to have a much smoother sales process. Now, if you're struggling getting people to attend the demo, it's likelihood that you've not provided enough value in the discovery or built enough rapport. So what you need to do is dive deeper into their vision, make this call about them, okay? Make sure that you're only talking about their business here. You are not selling your business. Do not discuss any pricing about your services in the discovery. That's what the demo is for. Now the demo, we're going to do a breakdown of our services. We're going to address the pain point with a viable solution. We are going to show them the case studies that we've got. If you don't have any case studies, because I appreciate this is a video for new agency owners, don't worry, be honest with them. I am going to do a separate video on exactly how you can address the whole do you have any case studies objection. So don't worry about that, just stay tuned for my next video. So once you've done the demo, you want to be able to close the client with confidence. So you're going to handle objections. Like I said, I'm going to do objection handling on a different video, but make sure that you've identified the pain points, you presented a viable solution, and likelihood is there's not going to be an objection around value. It's only going to be about pricing or testimonials. So I hope that video has given you a summary of exactly the direction that you should take for your agency to get going and start securing some clients.